Well, the countdown makes its return, and we are now 4 days, 3 hours, and a couple of minutes to the governorship and state houses of assembly election, which will hold this weekend. We're getting into that mode again, and why not? It's the governorship election week. All eyes fixated on this weekend. It's going to be a big weekend for a lot of people. But the candidates themselves are cautious. Any mistake at this stage could certainly cost them votes. How will the voting pattern turn out this time? Good evening. Welcome to the program. I'm Chamberlain Uso. Well, preparations for the governorship and state houses of assembly elections are in top gear now, but not without controversy as, of course, several comments making the rounds, especially in Lagos and across the country. But in the meantime, permutations about who may win what and where continue to make the rounds. But the dramatist persona is seemingly unmoved, Troy John. Well, as always, we'll make our rounds with some of our correspondents who will bring us up to the minute about what is going on, where they are. Let's take a look at some of those who will be speaking to us today. Lanre Lasisi, our man in Abuja, will talk to us today. And then we'll get Yemiko Soko speaking to us from Plateau. And also, we'll have Peter Okonkwo from Edo. So, all of them, yes, there you go. All of them will be speaking to us today. Let's find out from them, which we will, tell us what is going on, where they are, how are the states preparing. So they will be telling us all of this today. But don't forget, our social media platforms are also available for you to air your views tonight on the program. Well, you can tweet at us using the hashtags you see on the screen at Channels TV or at Chamberlain Uso. Well, please don't forget to use those hashtags. But if you have any comments or questions, do send us an email, and that will be nigeria2015@channelstv.com. Well, you can also send us pictures through our Eyewitness platform. Many of you did, and boy, it was indeed fantastic. We urge you, please send them more. So, just in case, you could download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. And then tap to show the Eyewitness menu. You see some instructions there. Just follow through all of them, and you will just get yourself ready to send us all of those. So, joining us tonight, we've got Tony Mulu, who is a representative-elect for Oshodi Isoro Federal Constituency 2. He is a member of the PDP. And then we also have Paul Kalajaye. He's the Director, Mobilization and Bode Campaign Organization of the APC. And then we also have Tunji Lordner. He's an election observer. He did observe elections this time. And then we also hope to have joining us via Skype today, who is an IT expert. Well, we'll tell you who he is in just a minute. But don't forget, the card reader, a huge introduction to the elections and the role it played. Many say different things about the card reader, how it was deployed, what happened at the end of the day. Let's take you through, not long, a little down memory lane, what happened with the card reader. Well, don't forget that it was the first time, indeed, that INEC did deploy the use of card readers for the election, introducing the permanent voter cards, as a matter of fact, and then, of course, which the card reader will read the PVC that you have. So it was a historic one for, it was tough to predict elections, one of the most that we've ever had in the history of elections in this country. But then on, after the card reader was deployed, we also did remember that on the 7th of March, INEC conducted card reader demonstrations in 12 states. So they picked different states in different regions and tested the card reader. It was the first of the field test. The commission said they had done simulated tests, but the field test. Now, the thing with the field test, let's take a look at that now. There were 4 objectives the commission said they set out to achieve with the field test of the card readers, the first of which to verify whether or not the permanent voter cards presented by the voter is indeed his. They want to be able to eliminate all of those cloned cards or cards that were not done by INEC. Do remember that some people were reported to have snatched some 1.1 million PVCs at the time. So that first objective of the card reader demonstration was expected to deal with that situation. The second one, to biometrically authenticate the person who presents a PVC. Let's flip to the second page now of this. So to ensure that after you must have brought your card reader, the PVCs, I beg your pardon, yes, the PVC you swipe to authenticate is yours, and then that biometrics in the second part, wherein your finger details, your picture or passport, whatever it is, appears there to further authenticate you. So two process of authentication there. That's the objective of the second one. We'll focus on that and see how did that particular one turn out. Then the third one was to ensure that the smart card readers provide disaggregated data of accredited voters in all categories. This was the part where they also did say they will be able to tell the demographics of those who voted in that election. So all of those who were talking about the kind of images they saw of those who were voting, perhaps this, the third option, was ensured or meant to deal with that kind of detail. Then the fourth one is to ensure that the smart card readers send the data of all accredited voters to INEC's central server. Now, did this work at the end of the day? How did it play out in the field? We'll also look at that particular matter in just a moment. So after this, when the card reader was tested, of course, there were results. Let's start with Lagos. Lagos, now, the result of the tests conducted in Lagos showed 91.4% success rate. So just 8.6% of those who were authenticated on that day couldn't succeed, got stuck at that stage. The second stage of the biometrics, it didn't go through. All right, let's move from Lagos to Kano. Kano was one of the states that were also tested. The field test took place in Kano, but look at that. You see the ones in red? That's where the failure rate was for Kano. 52.6%